All right, we're going to turn on our lights, and today we're going to talk about Maglites. Now, in Australia we call these torches. In America, obviously, they call them flashlights. I won't go into specifics about other countries. That's just the key delineation I want to make here. This one I've done a bit of refurbishing to, and I even gave it the LED upgrade globe in here, which is a drop-in replacement. Now, that's not really an option anymore. They all come as LEDs now. What I wanted to do with this, though, is I have a stack of ultraviolet LEDs, and I wanted to laser cut a little filter to fit in here, or a little assembly, whatever, to fit in here to run 5mm infrared or ultraviolet LEDs, mostly for looking for things that phosphoresce or glow under ultraviolet light. Well, I realized this one has a different style of globe in here. This one runs the halogen globe. So a quartz halogen globe, little tiny thing on 2 pins, and it's rattling around loose, and it fits into 2 pins in here. This lends itself very well to just poking 2 wires into that slot, and I can run some LEDs off it. Sounds like it might be a better idea. I do want to make sure that this globe works first. I reinstalled the globe. This might be the xenon globe, actually. We don't appear to work. I also belong to a Minecraft group. And at the moment we're watching raccoons trying to sneak food off the back porch of one of the members. Fun things to do while you're working on videos. Alright, I'm going to turn on my continuity tester. I'm going to hook on to one side of this. Alright, so we have continuity, so the globe would appear to be functional. So we'll leave that as is for the moment. Right. Now some of these batteries do have a bit of build up on the ends of them. So we're going to give just these a little clean up and see if that was what was stopping it working. So fun fact, I've taken the little bipin connector out of here, which is just a globe adapter. So that's actually the same assembly that was previously in here. This is just the adapter for those little 2-pin globes. So that's interesting, but I'm going to put the batteries in, see if we get some continuity through here. Alright, we have continuity again. Now that we have continuity, I want to poke 2 little probes in here. These are a bit small. Find something smaller. Okay, I just happened to find my good pair of pliers that have been missing for almost a year. They were in the sewing kit. So I found these 2 dressmaker's pins in there as well. Should let me connect on there. There's the Jason raccoons over there. So you have 6 volts, and these will work as pins to connect to it. It strikes me in a pinch out in the bush, I could get some steel wool and tap these on. It would probably light it up quite well. Right, we're on to doing some testing here. So we're going to assume this is the negative. We've got about a 50% chance of being right here. And what I have here is a bank of ultraviolet LEDs with an appropriate resistor bank. And we're going to see if they are around the right way. Let me guess. I probably got it wrong. Right, so I'm going to guess I can probably run these things directly off that, really. Red onto the positive rail. Oh, yeah, they're going to work just fine off 6 volts directly. There's enough voltage draw, enough current spread across them. They'll work just fine. I wonder if they'll blow up. We can probably leave them run for a little bit, but they are quite bright on the ultraviolet side of things. Piece of uranium glass. That should show how much ultraviolet light's being thrown off from here. So I think that's probably a good spread of UV LEDs to run off it. I'm going to make one little change here for a minute and mark the negative. There. I think I'm going to keep the original reflector in here. It'll just reflect some of the light backwards off it. So I've got a choice here. I can reuse this old filter. I can cut another one. I've got some 2mm acrylic. Or I can cut a new one if I have to anyway, and make the slots for the LEDs to go into that instead of behind it, and just have them protrude out the front. I'm not sure which way I'm going to go yet, but I'm starting to think that, like, these things have got lenses on the front anyway. An extra layer on there, while it might protect the LEDs, is pretty much just going to create retro reflection that we probably don't want. So I think I might replace the front with that, and I know it's in solidly, and I can make a backing on that keeps the LEDs all in the correct orientation. Little quality of life change I'm going to make. A little tiny bit of plumber's grease on the O-rings on the top and the bottom. because yeah, bit of lube on the top and the bottom is exactly what helps things go around better. We're just going to run that round. We'll give it a clean up afterwards. We'll do the same on the bottom here. And they're a very fine thread. I forget how fine they were. So this will go on much better with a bit of lube there, and it won't grind that rubber seal to pieces. Right, now we have two basically CAD files for some acrylic discs. So this can hold the LEDs out the front, screw hole in the middle. This will hold the backs and the notches here for the keyway on the LEDs. Should arrange them. This has enough lip to hide underneath the normal bit. This should fit inside it. So after that, I'll just need to wire up or connect up all the LEDs in parallel and then run two wires to a couple of dressmakers pins in the back. In theory, should work. Let's go cut this stuff.
A few moments later.
Okay, we're going to plot this. We're going to plot as per previous. We're going to do 2mm offset from the corners. Okay, we're going to plot. And now we go over to this. I might even be able to film this from inside. We've got it over here, we'll be good. Okay, we have our two pieces here, and this is where we do the peel, because people get worried if I don't. What's that ASMR chick that keeps getting parodied all the time? Mercedes. Something like that, I don't know. I can't do the accent, I'm not Norwegian or something enough. Okay, let's see. Oh, these gas off a bit, they smell. Ah. I just lost an LED, so hold up a minute. Okay, so the front one should fit in. A little bit of slack. This should fit in the back. We should be able to rotate that round until it engages properly and sits in that slot. And that should keep the pins in the same orientation radially around there. Although I think I have this the wrong way up, because I just noticed something. Now, this, boys and girls, is why maths is important. That might probably be the best bit I've got in there. One of those, and I think I have a washer that I prepared earlier. That should pack it out a little bit. And we're about the right thickness. Almost like I planned on it. Now that can go in. And what I can do is I can put a slight bit of twist on that. And that should hold the LEDs in place just with a bit of tension as I insert them all. So I'm going to insert lots of small round things into lots of holes when I make sure that that is not out of sync. We'll be back. Okay, we have all the LEDs inserted and some drops of Loctite 406 super glue in the back of them to hold them in because I wanted them to be in a bit more robustly. All these short leads are facing inwards, so I'm just having a think about how I'm going to do this. I think what I'm going to do is bring all of these short leads into the center here and solder them. I might lay the long leads around in a ring around the back, and then these might come over the top of those. We'll see how it goes. We can only try. I'm probably not going to time-lapse this bit because it's going to require a lot of thinking, and I've got some voice chats to do while I'm doing it, so we'll see you on the other side.
20 minutes later.
Alright, I've got the center ring done. Let's see where we're at. Let's give it 5 volts real quick. Got one not connected. That's that one.
Moments later.
Let's try now. Alright, it's a center ring done.
More moments later.
Oh, okay, so I'm going to test each ring, each LED around here. Test the outer ring before we parallel all these up. Alright, we're doing good.
Eventually.
Alright, soldering complete. Let's pull the blue tack off. It's not plasticine, it's blue tack. Now, this again is why maths is important. So, for each of the one inside here, which there are 6, there's 12 on the outside. So for every one, I can run 2 together into this join. So, I'm able to run this ring on the outside is independent, that ring in the inside is independent, and then everything goes to that in the middle. So all I need to do now, if I can find tweezers, is make a bridge between this, and we should be cooking with gas.
6.5 hours later.
Alright, focus please. We can see now I've actually added 2 links. I've added one there and one there. For a bit of redundancy, spread the current out so we don't have uneven lights. Not that it'll make a lot of difference at this current level. But now we need to see if everything lights up. Looks like they're all going to light up. Yep, they're all lighting up properly. Alright, and they're all nicely aligned. Cool. Let's add some wires to this. I'll make a couple of pins and we'll whack it into the torch. Now, because this probably requires a little bit of durability, I'm going to use a couple of bits of this nice little silicon wire here. That should be good. Alright, now I've made a fundamental mistake at this point. I haven't tested anything before I get to this point. So we're going to drop all these in here. Let's see if this actually fits under here. My measurements were hopefully correct. Well, it looks like that's going to cinch down nicely. Alright, and I'm going to need to chop these leads to the right length. That's looking pretty cool. Okay, so here's our finished little product here. We're going to put it in. I'll put a little bit of heat shrink. We've got our 2 pins, which are legs off yet another LED. Okay, so let's try Putting the head back on. I did put a tiny bit of plumber's grease on the other O-ring. Get a glimpse of the messy side of my desk here, but negative goes in that side. Positive goes in that side. In you go. I'm having trouble getting it in the hole. That's what she said. Alright, let's just test this real quick. Looks like it's going to work. So let's now insert our head in here with a little bit of a twist so that the cables don't like bend up anything. Put this on. There we go. There's the start of our thread. Now this is going to try and twist up, and that's not explicitly what we want, but it might work in this case. Alright, we're in. Alright, let's test this thing. Right. Fortunately, the sun has gone down now, so let's turn this on. We'll bring it up to full brightness over the top here. This is certainly going to be good to find things that fluoresce. This is a very bright ultraviolet LED light now. I'm very happy with this. Let's plonk this over here. So this should get us a nice thumbnail. So if we go, we put some text up, you probably will have already seen it. I'm going to put an LED or a notice up here, maybe a title that says ultraviolet Maglite conversion. So this will be good. Okay, let's turn the lights back on. So just as an addendum, I thought I'd shine this around my shed under UV light for a bit and have a look at whatever's interesting. I discovered something kind of interesting. The CPC 6128, the Amstrad there. The screen definitely likes the phosphor, and if I take it away, it glows for a little bit afterwards. So let's get this right up close, really energize that screen and take it away. She stays on for a bit. I just thought that was interesting. But yeah, this certainly has a good bit of throw. Certainly going to be better for the stuff that I want to do. Anyway, we'll catch you all later, and we'll see you in another video.